folks, David here on the Vintage Future once again, and I want to test out this new dash cam. I got this dash mount thing for my phone so I can do these travel chats, and we'll see. I hope it's not too wiggly, wobbly, jiggly, so you can let me know. But the good thing is, the point of these videos isn't so you can stare at me the whole time. It's almost more like a podcast with a crappy video attached. So hopefully this works out well. We'll see. But as a test run, I wanted to do this travel chat on denim hunting. As you know, I'm more into the boots, recently kind of into leather jackets. The whole fit is kind of a new focus for me, and denim is something I've dabbled in, but I don't really know like a ton about denim. I'm not like your go-to guy when it comes to that. You know, I'm definitely more into the leather and stuff. Not a dyed-in-the-yarns, blue-blooded denim head. But I've been on this denim hunt for specific denim for about a year and a half. I've wanted something that is unsanforized and unwashed. I've had multiple pairs of unsanforized jeans, which I've really loved, but they've all been single rinse, one wash, where they wash them before they give them to you. I've never had a true shrink-to-fit experience, and I really wanted to try this and also do it in conjunction with the Indigo Invitational, because I really want to document this. I'm really bad at documenting denim and stuff. I document my boots really well, but denim, I've just never taken the time or tried to and failed at, like, you know, taking pictures, writing down how many wears, how many washes and all that. So I figured this Indigo Invitational would kind of push me along and force me to document this wear and pair. And I tried the Indigo Invitational a couple years back. Actually, it was the second Indigo Invitational. This new one is the third one, so I guess it wasn't that long ago. But I ended up dropping out. One, because as I said, I realized I'm not a true denim head, so I have no chance of winning this. Two, I learned something about myself, which is, I guess, worth it all. I learned that after I wore the same pair of jeans for like 3 months in or something, I realized I really like my fits more than I had seen before. I just really like switching it up. I got bored with that one pair. So I learned that about myself. So that was the other thing. And because it was this pair of Tanuki jeans with the cobalt blue weft, I realized that pair of jeans was not very versatile. If you have just a plain indigo, white weft, or gray weft pair of jeans, it's kind of neutral, so it blends in and you can wear all kinds of different things with it. But when you get like this vibrant blue weft when you cuff, or like a purple one or green one, it is not that versatile. So I realized that was a bit of a mistake for a pair of jeans that I was technically supposed to wear for a year or more, daily if possible. So for those reasons I dropped out. But this time the goal's different. The goal has nothing to do with winning or anything like that. I just want to document something, and I figured the Indigo Invitational would be a great way to do that. So I ended up landing on the Flathead 3005. I had narrowed it over the last couple years to a few of the brands that if you're a denim head, they will be no surprise to you. I'm not alone in thinking this. This is super unoriginal, but I was like, okay, it's going to be Warehouse 1001. It's going to be Flathead 3005, or it might be a TCB 40, maybe a TCB 50. You know, I had hoped Oni would release like a true classic cut, in which case, in a heartbeat, I would buy their secret denim, because I've had 2 pairs in their secret denim. And as far as specialty denims, not like a just standard go-to workhorse raw indigo, that's probably my favorite denim of all time, which isn't saying much because I haven't really tried that many. Like if you read the Denim Hound blog or Indigo Shrimp or something like that, these guys have tried like dozens and dozens of different jeans. I've tried like maybe 15 in my life. So it's not saying a lot, but it was narrowed down to some of those usual suspects. Nothing really to write home about there. But I got these Flathead ones because the opportunity presented itself, and I knew that Flathead is not as hard to come, or not as easy to come by. I don't know if they're still going out of business, but like back in 2019, this was the whole thing where like they were bankrupt or something like that. I don't really know the full skinny on that. If you have an update on that here in 2022, you can let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate that, because I don't really frequent the denim forums, so I don't know. But they were supposed to be going out of business, I guess, and it became really hard to find their stuff. Like, I remember a time just a year or two ago when I couldn't find any of their stuff in stock. Or if it was in stock, it was like some obscure store, or maybe just something that's not quite as accessible in the West. Like, it's a little bit harder to navigate Rakuten or places like that, or like the website's mostly Japanese, than it is to just go buy from a U.S. retailer, because I live in the U.S. But now, I was able to reach out to Kyle, Rock Transformed, and say like, hey, where do I find some flatheads now? And he gave me a few places, one of them being Franklin and Poe, and they hooked it up. So thank you to Franklin and Poe. I'm so glad that they had some of those. And I know that Self Edge and some other places sometimes have them. But I chose flathead for a couple reasons. One, it was one of those situations where I was like, I should probably get these now, because who knows, maybe flathead is going down the tubes. Maybe this is one of the last runs they'll ever do. And if that's the case, I really want to try this pair. I figure Warehouse is going to be around. TCB is becoming more and more popular, so they're probably going to be around. I mean, heck, TCB did their big denim competition. They did the S40, and a lot of people joined. I wasn't in on that, but it was so successful that they're doing another pre-order right now of the S40, and they're probably going to do more. So I'm like, they'll be around. Warehouse will be around. Oni's going to be around. All these companies, Pure Japan Blue, or Pure Blue Japan, they're going to be around. All these companies, but I don't know about the flathead. So that's the one reason. The other reason is they're just so highly regarded. It's like a subculture legend. I hear it from all the denim heads. It might not be their favorite pair ever, but like, everybody has something good to say about flathead. And the real final straw, the deciding factor for me, was actually when I listened to Kyle and Jake's podcast, the Stitch Perfect podcast. I've listened to those episodes a few times, but I went back recently and listened to that first episode they did where they each listed their top 10 denim brands. And they kept their top 10 picks secret from each other until they recorded together. And so they didn't know what the other one was going to answer. And it was very telling. There's probably some people who would disagree, but I think those two guys together represent like a pretty decent picture of what a knowledgeable denim aficionado would choose, at least in the modern day, like 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, this time period. It's going to change, of course. And what was interesting was, on the one hand, they did choose a lot of the same brands. However, there was only one brand that they both put in the same spot, and that was the flathead. So, for instance, they both choose Warehouse or Mr. Freedom, or I don't remember all of them off my head, but they'd put them in different places. So, like, one of them would put TCB at number 8, whereas the other one would also pick TCB, but they would put it at number 3. But the flathead, they both put as their second most favorite top denim brand. Both of them chose the flathead as number 2. And I think that says a lot. And so when I saw that, I was like, there's got to be something really special about these. And they both said it was, to them, like the 3005 Pioneer series. That was like one of the really nice, solid go-tos. It's not overdone and crazy like Naked and Famous King of Lords, which I have no issue with that, but that's just not the current style season I'm in right now. I'm not necessarily looking for those things right now. But it's also not like super cookie cutter or like sanforized or whatever. And so that was kind of the deal there. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try this out. And I know that they're kind of known for vertical fading, which I'm not this huge vertical fading fan, but I've also seen some good examples of flathead 3005s that are not vertical fades. They're more generalized. And so I don't really care which one of those I get. I will just see what happens with it. I'm not really the guy that gets a lot of high contrast fades. Not because I don't want them. I don't really mind them. I like high contrast and vintage fades, but because of my lifestyle, I just find it very hard to achieve high contrast fades. Either I'm not wearing them enough or hard enough. Like, I work in an office, and so they're just not being worn hard enough to get those really bold, really stark contrast fades. Or I'm wearing them too hard. In other words, like they become my beater jeans. My kids are like getting, what is this? Oh, random lady walking. I thought she was going to say hi. Or they're my beater jeans and like my kids are getting like yogurt and syrup and ketchup on my jeans, strawberry jelly, whatever the heck they have on their hands. And I'm doing like yard work and I'm like getting down in the mud and the dirt and maybe crawling under the house to pull an electrical wire or whatever, cleaning out, the P-trap under my sink or whatever it is, getting that nastiness on there. So like when you're doing that stuff, it's like you gotta wash your jeans, You can wear them hard, but when it's like stuff like food and grime, it's like, that stuff just needs to get washed out, It's not quite the same as like, you work in a shop and there's like chemicals and stuff on them that, I don't know, I feel like it's different. Food rots, and it just, I don't know. So I have to wash the jeans a lot in that case. So in both cases, I'm not getting those really nice high contrast fades. I'm washing it more often. So I get these more generalized vintage fades usually. So we'll see what happens with these flatheads, but I'm really excited to see what they do, and I really want to document them. And, I'm getting pretty busy lately, so I don't know how much I'll be able to update them, but hopefully at the very least toward the end I could do a video that like kind of shows all those pictures, all the progression of it, and I'll be able to give my opinion on the Flathead 3005. But it's just a really cool experience for me. So what about you folks? What is a denim that you're really into right now? What kind of denim do you really love? What's your latest project with that? All the above. Tell me whatever. Anything related to this, always happy to hear it. It's fun talking about this stuff together. So as I always say, let your denim take you to places more important than the denim itself, and we'll catch you next time.